We're going to take a look at the chart of Taylor Swift, not so much from the success that she's created for herself, but in her relationship area. Those very same structures in her chart that work so well in career can be a bit messy in the area of personal relationship. When we go to the Meridian, and immediately we see that Saturn-Neptune midpoint, as well as the Saturn-Moon midpoint structure sitting on the side. Now remember, the Meridian in Uranian astrology not only represents the soul, the point of identity, but it's also the career. So when Neptune and Saturn come together here, we have the use of the non-concrete, the visceral, immense sensitivity, compassion, and imagination of the Neptune, and the concrete reality, practicality, and discipline of the Saturn. This is what gives Taylor the power to create in tangible form the outpourings of her imagination. Saturn-Neptune people, if the structure is there artistically, which clearly it is, often become self-appointed messiahs in a sense for the collective. She may speak of emotions that are unique to her, but are really common to the masses. So what's the double-edged sword in this picture? That the moon's involved. The moon is quite afflicted in Taylor's chart, and even though she's got it to work well in career, her chart indicates that the moon enters troubled waters in the personal area. Dialing in on the moon, we immediately run into Neptune, so anything that points to the moon will involve Neptunian energy. Neptune and the moon have a lot in common. They're both sensitive, imaginative, empathic, compassionate. They've got a refined sense of feeling and are concerned with feeling connected. These people long for connection, for reassurance that makes them very self-sacrificing, becoming whatever anyone else needs them to become. Moon Neptune understands the need for unconditional love, and they need this kind of love in return. They often look to others to redeem or be redeemed in order to avoid having to face all the harshness of the concrete world. So the sensitivity and merging of the water combined with this self-expressive creative fire in her chart that Sun in Sag, the Leo ascendant, and particularly the intensely desirous Scorpio Mars, the planet of determination, willpower, active energy, and you've got a fire-water situation, someone who looks at people in terms of their potential and tries to fix them. Fire-water works beautifully in the career where we can intuit potential and make things happen. The fire seeks expression, but the water seeks the paradise realm of connection, which is why she falls hard and fast. And because there's so much expectation, she ends up disillusioned, lonely, and disappointed. She's not really seeing these men as they are, but rather projecting her own needs onto them. In addition, around the moon area, we find a Jupiter-Saturn midpoint, indicating problems around the area of faith, swings in temperament between unbounded optimism and deep pessimism. There's a lack of trust that what she's looking for is really there for her, or rather, and more poignantly, on some level, she really doesn't believe it's there for her, and so what we think we energetically recreate. So it's really not the famous issue, which she so often speaks of, but rather the issue is her feelings of lack of effectiveness, lack of confidence in this area. Now, let's factor in the Saturnian energy with that moon. Whatever Saturn touches, it craves, but has a hard time acquiring. So here, the nurturance, deep emotional bonds, real feelings of security are amiss. There's a trapped child here who learned emotional self-sufficiency early. The kind of love that says, I will love you, protect, and nurture you just because you breathe was in short supply. Although, with her strong Neptunian energy around her moon, it probably kept her in a bit of fantasy and idealization around how it actually was, and kept her pining away and searching for that emotional setup. So, with the Saturn, the child develops extraordinary ways of getting their needs met by being ultra responsible, dutiful, controlled, responding to others' needs and never letting anyone down. Moon Saturn is usually quite vulnerable and scared of being hurt, so they'll always conform to elicit approval. Conforming was the currency for love. In fact, Moon Saturn people often end up in a mothering position, sort of like a mother hen, even playing mother to their own. So all of these combinations lends itself to this caretaking or fixed change pattern in the personal area, trying to fill her own needs and longings and emotional security. Her chart indicates in several places the need for major transformation in this area. So Sun-Moon, one of the most important midpoint structures for relationship in Uranian astrology. And bingo, not only do we find that whole structure with the Moon, Neptune, Saturn midpoint and the Meridian on the side, dialing us back into that adaptive fixed change caretaking problem, but we also find the planet Pluto here as well, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, and that's telling us there needs to be profound transformation in this area of personal relationship, that old patterns from the past that no longer serve need to die. And Hades is here on the side as well, the planet of death, decay, the underworld, as well as early emotional primal woundings in the life. The Hades here can mean a few things. On one hand, it's another confirmation of difficulty and someone who is terrified of vulnerability in the relationship area. So let's dial back to that meridian once more and include our relationship midpoint, Sun-Moon, and voila, the Sun-Moon Hades, and it actually has a 3-point picture with Pluto hooked right into the meridian, confirming the issues around relationship, but also that this is a soul issue and something to be worked on in this lifetime. The fact that there's Plutonian energy around it means that the possibilities for transformation are absolutely there, but not before she has some real transformative experiences concerning relationship. But it will be a spiral and hopefully an upward one.